This is The Scoop for Friday.
I'm Sean Canahan with the WMNF News headlines. The Courtney Campbell Causeway will close overnight next Monday and Tuesday. According to FDOT, all travel lanes of State Road 60 in both directions between Hillsborough and Pinellas counties will close those two nights from 10 in the evening until 5 in the morning, weather permitting. Alternate routes are State Road 580, Hillsborough Avenue, and US 19, and I-275, the Howard Franklin Bridge. A new program will give some Manatee County residents financial help with critical home repairs. WMNF's Chris Young reports on how low-income residents can apply for a forgivable loan through the State Housing Initiatives Partnership, or SHIP program.
Manatee County has opened applications for $1.2 million in housing rehabilitation and replacement assistance for eligible low-income households. The funds can go towards various improvements, including repairs and accessibility improvements like wider door frames and wheelchair ramps. And if the repairs are too extensive, they can demolish the home and rebuild it. Debbie Ash is the county's Housing and Community Development Coordinator.
We've had people that are in wheelchairs having to shower with a hose because they cannot get into their bathrooms. They can't fit through the doorways. They can't, it's just really sad. So we really impact and change people's lives through this program.
Eligible households must be in unincorporated Manatee County or the city of Palmetto and meet program income and property value requirements. The deadline to apply is May 15th. To find out more information and how to sign up, visit WMNF.org. Chris Young, WMNF News.
Last week, the ribbon was cut on the newly renovated Salcines Park in West Tampa. WMNF's Zoe Sachs reports it was once a hub for political and cultural gatherings.
Originally opened in 1991, the park has been a major cultural and historical part of West Tampa. It was named after Emiliano Salcines, a civic leader who community members called the Mayor of West Tampa. Salcines was known from his popular department store, where he aided immigrants and organized local civic groups. 35 years later, the city renovated the park to create a more modernized and comfortable place to gather, while still reflecting its history and value. Tony Monk, a landscape architect with the City of Tampa's Parks and Recreation Department, says working with the community was a top priority in the renovation process.
The history of the community is really important to the folks who live there, and that's represented in the mural that we preserved on the wall, and the materials that we chose for the park, and the way that we emphasized gathering and community by having a nice, large, shaded shelter that really is the centerpiece of this park.
The park now features an ADA-approved design, making the park accessible to all community members. For more information on the history of Salcines Park, visit tampa.gov. For WMNF News, I'm Zoe Sachs.
It's Hurricane Preparedness Week. WMNF has brought you reports on how to get ready for storms and how to weather them safely. Meteorologist Megan Borowski from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network tells us how to prepare for what happens after storms.
Even though skies may clear and winds may die down, there are many hazards to be cognizant of in the aftermath of a system. From downed trees and live power lines to breaks in pipes and natural gas leaks, all of these things can pose a risk to safety. Also, floodwaters can remain high in the wake of a storm, and we're constantly reminded that these waters, too, can be hazardous, from carrying waste and debris to dangerous animals. And also, we should never risk it and try to drive through floodwaters. One last thing to think about is that if the power's out, temperatures indoors will not be regulated by air conditioning units, and vulnerable populations may suffer from heat stroke or heat exhaustion. Avoid strenuous cleanup efforts until extreme heat has subsided or when you have access to cooler environments.
Borowski says that regardless of what the upcoming hurricane season may bring, you can stay safe by reviewing the topics covered in this week's Hurricane Preparedness Campaign. You can find that information on WMNF.org. Borowski says the key to minimizing a tropical weather system's impact on our lives lies in developing a plan well before the storm, enacting it when the storm threatens, and remaining cautious in the wake of a storm. It'll be partly cloudy today with highs in the low 90s, humid tonight, overnight lows in the mid-70s, and partly cloudy and breezy tomorrow with highs in the low 90s. Expect rain on Monday. I'm Sean Canahan with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.